It's changing everything because the way that I used to think about work was like the challenges I would come up on were just so repeated. I wasn't growing. Like the business was growing a little bit year over year, but I wasn't really hitting any challenges that I couldn't answer in my sleep. And so now hitting new challenges, like it's so much more fun to me. Like they're not like small challenges. They're like really big goals and really big things that we're trying to do. And so my brain gets to go to places that like I never knew existed because I never let myself like go there. So like the creativity is just like so much back because I'm not doing, and don't get me wrong, I'm still doing a ton of boring stuff every day, like that I have to go in and do. Like I'm not just like sitting around letting everyone else do it. Like we're very much still in the building phase, but on a daily basis, I get to think like, okay, how are we approaching this new hurdle that is like so big, and who do we get to pull in, and how do we solve it on another level?
Welcome to Limitless, the podcast for cycle breakers, change makers, and conscious leaders who are done performing, proving, and pleasing, and are ready to live, lead, and create from deep alignment. I'm your host, Fiona Walsh. Every 2 weeks, I hold space for real soul-expanding conversations with guests who are still in it. They're navigating their biggest fears, shedding old identities, letting go of patterns that no longer serve them, and rising into their limitless potential. Together, we share what it's really like to be human, messy, raw, imperfect, and learning to own every part of ourselves, even the ones we've tried to keep neatly tucked away. We go deep into the work of coming home to yourself, getting out of your head, feeling safe in your body, letting go of old stories, and creating a life that's true to who you really are. Subscribing to Limitless is the best way to make sure you never miss an episode. So hit pause and tap follow or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Because this isn't about doing more. It's actually about remembering who you are. And that's what makes you limitless. Welcome to Limitless. Today's guest is someone that I know personally. We went through a mastermind coaching program together almost 3 years ago now. But the story that she's sharing today is something that I did not know about. So I want to introduce to you to Michaela Miller. She's the founder and CEO of a new venture called Caribbean Boat Concierge, which operates at the moment out of the US Virgin Islands. Now, as you'll hear in this interview today, from the outside, Michaela's life actually looks like a dream. If you've follow her on Instagram, it really does. But for a long time, she let it look that way. While she was succeeding wildly, she was juggling so many different things in multiple businesses and with 3 young kids. She never asked for help, and quietly on the inside, she was starting to crumble. This conversation today on Limitless is about what happened when she couldn't hold it anymore, about the patterns that now she's traced all the way back to childhood, and the moment she stopped playing it safe and small, and she set a goal that she had no idea on how she was going to reach it. Now, in my coaching world, I spend a lot of time with people just like Michaela, who are succeeding on every external metric that the world can see, while the inner world is exhausted, out of alignment, and starting to call out for something different. I believe Michaela's story is going to open something up for a lot of you who are tuning in today. Michaela, welcome to Limitless. I'm so excited that you're here today.
Thank you so much for having me, Fiona. I'm so happy to be here.
Okay, so can you walk us back to that turning point, that pivot point moment for you? What was going on? What did it look like? What did it feel like? Take us back.
Yeah. So I've had a few turning points in the past decade, but the most recent one and the biggest one that's like catapulting everything that I'm doing now was September of last year. So 2025, I had my last baby. She was about 3 months old. And my husband and I were traveling to Germany for the Berlin Marathon. And every sign that my life was like about to explode started coming. And it was like not subtle at all. So we are supposed to be like super happy. I booked business class flights to go to Germany and we're like on our layover. And I have this sweet baby. My husband's like running his 4th marathon. He's super excited. And like we realize I'm doing all these work emails, I'm doing all these things. And like I realized that my whole makeup bag fell out on the first flight. And it just like sends me into this negative space that is not like me. Like normally I'm a problem solver and I'm like, okay. So I just feel this like doom that I can't explain. And I'm like, it's not the makeup. I don't know what's happening, but I'm really upset about the whole makeup bag disappearing. And then we get on the flight. We fly all the way to London for our next flight to Berlin. And we get there and I realize that I booked the wrong flight from London and we're going to miss it. And I haven't slept. Like we had these amazing seats on the plane, but I didn't sleep all night. I'm like, I can't see anything because I don't have contacts in. All I know is that like we booked the wrong flight and we're not going to make it. And so I'm like, oh my goodness, like there are these signs, like something is wrong. Like I think we should go back home, but we don't. We keep going. And it's just like, I'm like, all right, we're going to keep going to Berlin. We do all of these things to finally get there and we're exhausted. And in the middle of all of this, like the reason that I'm really feeling the overwhelm is I am running a travel business that I'm the head of with a very small team, with doing a lot of revenue, having a lot of clients. At the same time, I am launching my course for the 3rd time that where I teach people how to start their own travel businesses. So I'm in the middle of that launch. So I am on the plane, sending out contracts to my clients for my travel business, responding to emails about my course, creating content for the course, literally not sleeping all night with my 3-month-old, pretending that it's a fun vacation, but I'm really just working the whole time. And to shorten that turning point, like the trip was okay. I'm exhausted the whole time. I'm doing all this work. I'm telling my husband I cannot continue this way. Like, I don't know why I'm doing this to myself. And we get to the airport on the day to return to the States. And there's been a cybersecurity attack on the airport. And like the downward spiral just kept going. Like I literally could not get home to my kids. And I felt like another level of out of control. But really, all of these things were things I would normally be able to overcome. But because of the state where I had pushed myself to of complete overwhelm in my business life, it was just like devastating to me.
Okay. So good. And I didn't know that this actually went down. Michaela and I know
Yeah.
each other, but I didn't know that this is what went down behind the scenes. So
Yeah, you probably saw like the good Instagram
yeah, well,
reels
'cause
where it's like, oh,
yeah.
she's in business class and she's having a great time.
Well, and I'm like, yeah, you did the run, and that's so exciting for your family, and like how
Yeah.
amazing to go away with your little one because you've got 2 other big kids, and like that would be really special time together. You know what I mean? But no, that was
Yeah.
maybe what was on Instagram, but you were like crumbling literally on the inside. And one thing that sounded really fascinating, because I know you're a really optimistic, positive person and you're like a big manifester and everything. But so when you got taken down and you felt this like doomsday and like dark energy, did that feel really uncomfortable in your body?
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. It felt devastating. Like, oh, everything that I hoped for, like my coaching business is thriving. My travel business is thriving. I'm here with my family, like my husband and my baby. And this should all be like feeling really good. And to feel absolute doom instead was
Yeah.
just so uncomfortable.
Yeah. Okay. So where to from there?
Well, I wish I could tell you that I woke up and I was like, okay, I'm going to fix everything. But instead, I let it ride. Like I launched the course, I had a successful enrollment period and I had like the best group I'd ever had and gave it my all and really loved that or that round of the course, I guess you would call it. And for anyone who has like created courses, like the idea is that like you create it, you put so much love into it, and then it becomes easier each time, which it was becoming. And at the same time, I knew I couldn't continue. Like I knew that what I'm putting myself into so many places and like I'm not going all into anything. And on the outside, it looks like success, right? Like selling out a course, like watching people be successful that you're teaching, but also knowing that like your heart can't be in several different places. But I did not change anything. I just kept like it was very long days of just like making sure that everything from the travel business side stayed sustainable, like all the clients stayed happy. And then from the coaching side, making sure that the students were really getting what they deserved. And so then I was getting absolutely nothing for myself. So like the travel, everything else is thriving except for me. And so I pushed through. The course graduates in December. The first week of the year, New Year's week, is like the biggest week of travel for probably everywhere, but for my destination of Virgin Islands, very, very busy. And July 3rd or January 3rd in particular is like the busiest travel day of the year. And on January 3rd, whatever happened in Venezuela happened, where there was some kind of attack and they put all flights in the Caribbean grounded for 2 days. And so no one can fly in or out of the Caribbean. And I wake up that day. Now my body is taking it on. I wake up and I can't move my neck. So I literally can't like move. I can barely move my arms to work on a computer.
Frozen. Like completely frozen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like it totally feels it. And I'm getting calls and like every which way. Like we have so many clients on the island, so many clients coming into the island. All the rooms are sold out. So I'm having to like piece together. Fiona's not flying in, but Michaela is not flying out so they can switch rooms. Like just like this huge Tetris game that is giving me like a heart attack because there's so many demands. And my team is really small. Like I essentially have like one person helping me. And so we're just working like crazy. And I'm like, I have to go and get a massage and get this like thing out. And I could barely even like sign off for an hour to get that done. And I knew at that point, I was like, something is going to change. Like there's no way, like even if you, that day, if you had said, I'm going to take away your entire businesses, you're going to start from zero and you can just start over, I would have been like, yes, please let me.
Yeah. You're done.
Yes, I was done.
Yeah. So the giving to everybody else and the overfunctioning to keep all the balls in the air and the make sure it all looks good on the outside while you're crumbling on the inside. Is that a familiar story for you? Like, can you trace that back to other points in your life or maybe when you're a child?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I've always done everything. Like I will take care of me and I will like thrive, but I'm not going to ask for help.
Yeah. Yep. And when you were little, you were like that.
Oh, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very independent, not just going to go and figure it out myself, to the fault of, like, for instance, when I went to college, I had no idea how to like apply for colleges, what that actually meant. And instead of like telling anyone that like I needed help with that, I just was like, okay, I'm just going to go to the first college I get into. So I don't have to like have help with that decision until I went to like the college I didn't want to go to. Right. And then I had to figure it out myself. And then I didn't tell anyone that I hated the college until I could figure out how to apply to a new college and like figure out how to get me to the next place, even though there were people there who could have helped me through all of that.
Mm-hmm. And now that you've been through that and you're aware of that pattern, are you actively trying to shift it for the future?
Yeah. Yeah. So what happened after that is like where you talk about like the manifestation part and like those type of things, like I couldn't, it's something outside of me. Like this is not what I did to get into where I am now, 6 months later. I was like, I really want to scale the business. Like I want to grow it and I want to be able to step out of this role of answering every single thing and just being like the person who is everything. And so I typed scaling into podcast, literally just scaling. And the book, The Science of Scaling came up. And I was like, started listening to it and it was a Tony Robbins board. And I was like, no, I don't want to listen to his voice. And so like I paused it, like that was January probably. And then I never listened to it, like played it again. And then 6 weeks later, I found it again, but I sent it to my husband. And then he actually listened to it and he sends it to me and he's like, you need to listen to this. This is like what we have been going towards, which my husband is involved in the business too. But again, like I've always pushed him out. Like I've got it. I'm going to take care of it. You don't need to do anything. Like just stay over there. I want to do everything. So he listens to this book and he's like, this is like life changing. And so I listened to it and I'm like, the overall like takeaway that I got that day is like, you cannot do everything and you cannot do everything well. And if you want to grow, you have to do it in a way that you step out of being the person that does everything and you actually define what you want first, like where you're going, and then put those pieces into play, which is something I had never done. I had always gone like, okay, here's what I want, kind of like wishy-washy. Let me see what works. And as things work, then I believe in it a little bit more. But I took that book and I was just like, okay, somebody can teach me how to like fix the mess that I've made. And I started like the first thing was, okay, I need to figure out what I want, right? So I started to look at the business, my coaching business, my travel business, and also what the book led me through is like, and I think it's something that a lot of us deal with is like, especially being on social media today, we're always being taught how to pick up new things and add and diversify. And so what I thought was doing me a service by having a travel business and coaching it, I was actually just doing both things halfway. And not, I don't want to discredit it. Like I had a lot of great students, a lot of like their businesses are great now too. But what I could have been to them had that been my only thing would have been 10 times better. My travel business had it only had like that side, it could have been 10 times better. And so I had to look at like, okay, what am I going to focus on? And what am I going to do really well at? And then how am I going to bring in people to help me and finally get over that fear of like letting
Doing it
other
all
people help
yourself.
me? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay. And I do love what you say because I know you and you would have poured your all into both of those ventures. It's just that if the potential of both of them independent, like even independently, if you looked at one of them, the potential was so much higher than what you were able to achieve because you were splitting your time. Then you felt like there's how big could it be if I go all in on one? Okay, amazing. Yeah. So this is keep going because I feel like this is where we're headed.
Well, it started to become more for me the more I learned about like when people go all in. I started like studying, okay, like what does it mean when you really go all in and like try to be really like good at something? It started to become apparent to me that like that's the biggest personal transformation you can have because going all in tests everything, like every single belief. For instance, like if I'm halfway into travel business and halfway into coaching, if either doesn't do well or something goes wrong, it doesn't really hurt me. My beliefs aren't really tested that much because I'm just halfway in. Whereas if like I have a bad day going all into one thing and it's like, that really hurts. What is my wound? Is it around money? Is it around delegating? Is it around like being afraid to ask for help? What is like, how can I improve myself? That is what I've seen the biggest transformation on is like, okay, if I go all in, this is going to transform me way quicker than just having my hand in like a few different things and giving my all. But like, I can't give my all when I'm halfway. Like yes, they're correlated, but both are like I'm like one human and I'm a mom and I'm not doing, like I'm just splitting myself in 10 different ways.
Yeah. Yeah. And I believe, and this is definitely like the world in which I now operate, like in coaching and stuff, as well as that the state and capacity of your inner world. So be your nervous system, but also like your identity. So your beliefs and what you believe is possible, is completely in coherence and correlation with your external world. So you going in and starting to like unravel some of those patterns, is the only way to truly reach your true potential and like expand into who you were put on this planet to be. So tell me about a couple of the wounds or the imprints or the patterns that you've been working on. And I know that they're probably not done and dusted because, if we have decades of doing it with subconsciously, you can't just turn them off overnight. But walk me through one or two of them that you've been working on.
I would say the first one, like the fear of commitment and not being able to like, not that I would, uh, to the outside, like, I think that it very much seems like I reach every goal I hit, right? But
Yeah.
I would never commit to like a really, really big goal, one that I didn't believe I could reach. So I always knew everything I
was
was
all
setting
safe.
out.
Yeah.
Yes,
It was
everything was
doable.
safe. It was
Yeah.
doable. Like
Yep.
there were very many manifestations that were like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. And I'm like really reaching. But in general, I would make the goal silently. So if it wasn't hit, it's like, oh, well, no one knows. And so who cares? Like I'm not actually holding myself to like a commitment. And to now have committed to what I've moved into, because I've brought on so many team members that like I have to keep my commitments to them. I've told them what we're going to do. And I cannot just decide that I want to start a different business again, which is always really attractive to like the new phase is very fun and exciting. Being committed during the boring parts, like that actually take me to the next level, is like the wound that I'm healing. Because like I was actually like thinking about this, like I've lived in like 36 different houses probably. I have like moved to 10 different cities. Like new is so fun. And although I really want that new adventure in my life, I want to like keep the promise to myself to stay committed to something, to set a really big goal, and then to take myself there.
And there's no other way to really go in on a commitment when you've got other people invested in that goal too. Because as soon as you set a business goal and a team is rallying around it, it's sort of no longer Michaela's goal, it's everyone's goal. So it's like, it almost like amplifies the importance of staying with it.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah.
Like I'm making a promise to other people and not just to
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah.
And even with that, like goes into the next part of like always thinking that, and I think this is like, if anyone who started a business, like thinking that I'm the only one that can do something. And that goes in life, business, like everything, of being like, okay, I'm the only one who can like put my kids to bed. Like, no, my husband can do it, right? Like, but in looking at where I wanted to go, I mean, like, I actually cannot, setting a goal so big that it's like, you actually physically, like you as a human cannot do this. You have to team up with other people and you have to learn how to trust other people to do that. Like that's the next part of it. It's like learning how to just trust.
Mm. How's that going?
It's going so good. It's,
Yeah, that's
it's like,
awesome.
it's phenomenal because it's like I am getting my life back. I can sign on to a podcast for an hour with muting my notifications and not think of like what's happening. And not that I did have help in my former business, but not at the level of before. I had essentially one team member. And now we've just pivoted the whole business the start of June into a new business. And we have 5 team members, I think. And so that is like transformational. It's like, oh, all of these things can be taken care of. And I don't have to operate like my nervous system can actually rest and not just be like tied up like what's happening because the support system that I didn't build a support system to sustain like the moving parts.
Yeah, absolutely. And because it's only, I mean, we're recording now, it's towards the end of June. So you're like a couple of weeks into the new structure. Have you really felt yourself like who you're choosing to be and how you're showing up? Is that changing quite rapidly at the moment because you're no longer like Michaela with someone helping you? It's like you've got 5 people doing all this stuff, which means you can probably focus on other things or get your time back, like you said, like to do podcasts like this. So how's it changed who you're being?
Yeah, it's changing everything because the way that I used to think about work was like the challenges I would come up on were just so repeated. I wasn't growing. Like the business was growing a little bit year over year, but I wasn't really hitting any challenges that I couldn't answer in my sleep. And so now, hitting new challenges, like it's so much more fun to me. Like they're not like small challenges. They're like really big goals and really big things that we're trying to do. And so my brain gets to go to places that like I never knew existed because I never let myself like go there. So like the creativity is just like so much back because I'm not doing, and don't get me wrong, I'm still doing a ton of boring stuff every day, like that I have to go in and do. Like I'm not just like sitting around letting everyone else do it. Like we're very much still in the building phase, but on a daily basis, I get to think like, okay, how are we approaching this new hurdle that is like so big, and who do we get to pull in, and how do we solve it on another level?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're still in that exciting problem solving design phase, which is, I know for the type of person you are, very, very exciting. Um, um, can you walk me through, because you alluded to it before, like how did the signs or the ideas drop in for this pivot for the new venture?
Yeah. So when I first decided, okay, I'm going to go all in on my travel business, which I had just like, I had been doing coaching for 2 or 3 years, which was really half of the business. So I never had the opportunity to go further in. And so when I was like, I'm going to go further in, my immediate thought was like, okay, we plan travel. We're just going to make it more luxury. We're going to make it better. We're going to go higher end. And then I was listening to this book about scaling and like how to like do it really well. And I kept hearing this part, which I don't even think it's the exact words anymore, but it's like, you can't scale a complicated system. And I was like, I have built a very complicated system. And that's why I can't step out of it, is because there are so many nuances that cannot be systemized. And I knew that very well because I had hired somebody to come in and create systems around our system. And it was so complicated that I was like, this isn't, I'm never going to be able to.
Because you were the system.
I was the system. Yes.
Yeah.
And like, not to like, it was beautiful. Like people love that personal touch on trips and all of that. But like to serve the number of people that I wanted to serve, to like bring good memories to, I was doing a disservice. Like, because I can only reach so many people in that business model of like, I'm going to plan your full trip, but there's the level of expertise we want to bring to it. There cannot be a system around to scale it on a bigger level. And so I was like thinking about like, what is the most fun part of the trip? And like, what what can we actually design a system around? And so I went to yoga one morning. I like go to like a hot class where I just like sweat and
Yeah, I love it.
meditate, right? And
Yep.
so I'm there and I'm like, oh, okay, we're just going to do boats. Like we should just book the best day of your vacation. And I went home and I tell my husband, and like, that was only 1/3 of our business, like the boats. So I come home and tell him, and he's like, are you crazy? Like, you're going to cut out like all this other stuff? Like, he just kind of looks at me and then he like takes the day and he's like, okay, I get it. Let's go. Um, and it was also a complete identity shift. Like, I had to like, I was this travel brand. Like, I did niche travel. I taught people how to do it. So letting go of, oh, this is the way that I plan trips. And then also letting go of the way that I was coaching. And so many people had done successful businesses like mine. But at the same time, I'm 5 years ahead of starting the business. And I'm like, I need to move forward. I had to let go of like, that was like, oh my gosh, I'm letting all of this die overnight.
Did you see it as a death though? Or because I like when I see people like you or even people I coach who are like closing out a chapter because it feels like it's complete, like I see it as just like that you're a sum of all your experiences and your parts, and you wouldn't have gotten to that boat idea in yoga if you hadn't have worked at the Marriott and then gone out on your own and then done the like I feel like for me it's all, you know what I mean, a sum of the parts. But like totally valid how it felt for you. Did you feel like, oh my God, that this part of me is dying?
Yeah, no, I love how you position it like that. Like it felt like that for like the first couple of days of like, okay, I'm going to be releasing all of these parts that I've spent building. And then when moving into that phase, just like you're saying, all of these parts started coming together. Like coaching, for instance, like that's building a team. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I've been spending so much time with these like brilliant women, teaching them how to do these things. And we've been scaling businesses all over together. But like, I want like a permanent cohort. I want to like have a team that like we have a longer connection with and that we like build together. And so to me, that's what it is now. It's like, oh, like I'm just leading in a different way. Like more long term and more on the same exact goal. And we're able to like go even deeper.
Mm. And you're building this business also from a new identity and a different like nervous system and energy, it feels like, because you'd up until this new venture, you had a lot of like hustle energy and I'm going to do it all and that sort of thing. And now and also the overwhelm that came with all of that, that now like I mean, it's inevitable that you'll have moments and chapters where that might come back because we're all human. But like, I love the way that it sounds like you're very intentionally building the team and scaling in a way that to try and safeguard against that coming back and that overwhelm that you felt, or like that the whole world operated around Michaela, which is now you're like actually seeing the benefit in like not being your reality anymore.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. It really helps. I am working with a coach too. And that's like one thing that I've always done over the years has helped me is like always finding somebody to take me through the new process. And what they keep reminding me is that me being in the best mental and like going to yoga, not necessarily physical health, like I consider that mental health, right? So like going to yoga for an hour is actually more beneficial than writing emails for an hour. And so like we're like recognizing that. And every time I get in that, like the hustle before would be like staying up all night and writing emails. Now I look at and like, okay, what are the tasks that I'm doing that I could hire somebody to do? So that would enjoy that would enjoy helping me on these things. So it's like the opposite of hustle. Like it's like, I don't want to be in that hustle mentality or that hustle feeling because I can't lead from that place. It's not a good place to be.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I wonder as well, like you've got three little kids. Like, how has that changed how much you can fit in as well? Because I just know, like, once I had the three, it was like that was when I sort of led to one of my big turning points, which was burnout, because I was trying to still do it all, and like kids take up a lot of time as well. So was that part of it as well, like the contributing to the, like how much you can actually hold yourself, and then therefore where can I pull in help? And now it sounds like pulling in help is starting to feel like really aligned and like flowy and stuff, rather than the past you've been like, no, mate, I don't want that help, or I can do it myself. Like, how has it changed as well through the lens of becoming a mum?
Yeah. I mean, I think about every like second that I have spent away from the kids, like when I've been in the position of like, I'm the only one that can do it. And so looking at things from the perspective of wanting to be able to be present for them, not only like being with them physically, but also mentally, that is like 100% where like the business pivot even comes from too. Is like, okay, here's where I want to be in 3 years. And I want to be able to go on a vacation with my kids for 10 days and be able to sign off. I'm not at that point like right now. But I think a lot of the times I would, it's easier to just be like, okay, well, I can just answer emails half the day than to actually, when I'm on vacation, right? Like we've done tons of vacations over the past few years, like owning the business and having that financial freedom. But at the same time, it's like, I'm not even there. I can't fully be there at any point. And so the hard part was realizing that I also can't do that next week. Like, I have to go back to the foundations and fix everything and set a longer term goal and be super clear on what I actually want to be experiencing so that I can create the system that does that. And like systems aren't like cute, right? Or like the things that we talk about, but like that is like the side of it that's like, oh, well, yep, I'm a mom and I'm creating a business. And like, I think a lot of the times women are taught online, like, oh, you can go ahead and like start this business and start making money online and start doing this and that, without being told like, you really need the foundation to be really good if you actually still want to be a present mom.
Yeah, 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 absolutely. Um, the if we took you forward like 3 or 5 years time, and you had achieved this goal of like freedom, and it sounds like freedom in all areas of your life, not like maybe financial freedom you already felt a little bit, but you haven't felt free because you were tied to your laptop while you're on holidays and you weren't present with your kids and things like that. If you achieve that like in 3 to 5 years time, can you just like explain to me what that would look and feel like for you?
I think like the feeling would be never completion, not like, oh, I did it, it's over, but more like, oh, I showed my kids like what's possible when you set a goal and commit to it. And that would be like the best feeling of not even like all the money could disappear. I think about this a lot, like, because I'm taking so many big risks now, like monetarily and stuff like that, of like, oh, it could all disappear. What matters to me now is that I commit to something and show what's possible when you do that
Mm.
to my kids, like not to
Yeah,
anyone else, like literally just to the kids.
yeah.
That's like my
And a little
biggest.
and a little bit to yourself, because it sounded like you sort of didn't always keep promises to yourself in the past, or you like, you were talking about playing it safe. Is that part of it too?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, yeah. I love what you said before about um, having systems and structure in place, which is sort of more masculine energy, or the masculine side of business, because there's so much online about the soft girl businesses and stuff like that. And I love that content, but I agree with you. Like, and I've been working on this myself. Like, if you're just all like, yes, 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 and it's like looks good on the outside and you're great with clients, but the back end of your business is a complete mess, or you have to do everything. Um, it's just like the analogy, like a duck out of water. Like they look fine and floaty on top, but underneath it's like this, their legs are flapping and do you know what I mean? And it's exhausting. Are you a natural systems person or have you needed to like lean in to help like coaches or mentors to help you set those things up?
Yeah, it's so funny. If you asked me that a year ago, I'd be like, I'm so good at systems. And I know how, like, in teaching people to set their travel business, I know what needs to be done. But did I follow those own systems myself? No. So a lot of the times I would tell people, like, do what I say, not what I do. Like, these are things that, like, I'm really not great at. So, like, my systems used to be if something wasn't organized or working, like I would call it a Band-Aid. I'd be like, okay, we're just going to add this thing over here to fix that thing that's not working instead of fixing that thing that's not working because like, yes. And so I almost would call myself like the opposite of being a systems person now. Like I am a thinker. Like I can see how the business can go. Like I can dream it, but like I should actually not be the systems person. Like that could be somebody completely different. And that's the other part about like, I think like the content around female entrepreneurship online, a lot of it is like, let me teach you how to do this yourself. When it's like, sometimes we need to like ask somebody like, hey, can you set this completely up for me and then just show me how to use it? Like, I don't need to become a systems expert to be a great business owner. And so that was a huge realization for me. Like once I decided I was going to grow the business, I had no idea what positions you even hire. I was like, that was so confusing to me. I'm like, I don't know, like, what are even the positions? And one of the biggest ones was like, oh, we need a COO, like a head of operations to come in. And I'm talking to my coach saying like, this sounds like a horrible job to me. Like I hate all of these things. And they keep reminding me that like the parts that you don't love, like when you write out what this job entails to someone else, they're going to read it and be like, that is my dream. And so like, I've gotten to see that play out time and time again of somebody coming in and being so excited that like that opportunity is there for them. Like I want to do that. I love that. I thrive on that. And I think like that was such a blind spot for me of thinking like, oh, I hate this, so everyone hates this. And I've been like it wasn't easy by any means to find the right operations person because I was like really needing it, right? I'm like, I need to solve this. We're going to relaunch the business on June 1st. We need a great operations person. And then I went through a couple of people. I finally got Indeed listing up, which also isn't cute, right? Like I had to go do the Indeed listing, which I hate doing. And I never thought I would even find anyone on Indeed. Like I didn't know. And I got it up and then I started seeing applications. There were like 30 applications in an hour, but a lot of them are like spam and like, yeah. And there was this one person, Kate, who stood out. And I was like, oh, okay, awesome. Like I start messaging her and then I get a notification that my account's been shut down for spam. Like they think I'm not real. And I'm like, oh my goodness, what was that person's name? And just by luck, I remembered it. And just by luck, her husband was running for office where they live. And so she like was very easily Googleable. And I was like, oh my goodness, like I'm not a scam, but will you please interview with me? So like she wasn't really sure if I was real. Like we were just like, it was really funny. And now like that was mid-May, probably like May 15th-ish. We went through the interview process. She came on board and then we all, Kate, myself, and our head of marketing flew to St. Thomas for 2 days, just like meet in person. And it's like the best fit ever. So now I'm able to like every single thing I think of that I'm like, oh, I can't do that part. Like it just really like, how am I going to do a system around the new problem that comes up? She's like, oh my goodness, I can't wait to do it. And it's like this amazing part because it's like I get to watch her talents thrive and I get to just hand it off.
Yeah, and she's in her zone of genius and you can hand off the stuff that doesn't light you up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also like systems thinkers, like really good ops managers, sounds like she is. Like the way they can look at the entire ecosystem is really powerful. Because if you've been a Band-Aids kind of person, like I've worked in organizations where the main technology system that the business ran off in a big organization was with lots of Band-Aids, and they were like prided themselves that it was built in-house and blah. But then when anyone came in, if there was a problem and external, they were like, oh, we can't touch this because it just had like arms and legs and tentacles. And you know what I mean? Just because it was this ugly beast rather than like an organized ecosystem that all works together and everything flows the way it should. So I feel like it's not sexy, but there's so much magic that can happen when a system is working well.
Yeah, I know. It's like, then like it's not great than like when you're in the middle of a business and you're just spending so much time working on problems that shouldn't exist. Like no one can have fun, and I want to have fun. I want to like have the time to like, have a team and not be so caught up in what's not working all the time.
Yeah. And repeating the same Band-Aids, I'm guessing, because if you hadn't actually designed, you know what I mean? You were just repeating processes that were Band-Aids rather than like actually getting to the root cause. You said the word fun a couple of times, and you said like which part of like your previous business was the most fun. And that was almost part of the like ping of the idea to go after the boats part of the business. Is fun something that drives you, or is it something you're leaning into more now that you've got a bit more time and space and your nervous system's a bit more regulated?
Yeah, definitely. Like I'm approaching the whole thing as like a fun game. Like this is like, let's see how well we can do and how far we can like take ourselves in our lanes of genius instead of like our lanes of burnout, right? Because like when we're all in places we don't want to be, I think that's when the burnout happens. But if I'm like feeling super passionate about an idea, I could sit there for 9 hours and like work on it, and not from a place of hustle, like a place of like, I am really enjoying this. Right. And so, yeah. And so we're taking that into like, okay, we're bringing in people like, what do you love to do? And making sure that they're in those spots to like love what they're doing. And then when they're not, like fixing that instead of just like, oh, you took on this role and we really need you to execute it and we're paying you, so do it. Like, no, it's like, oh, we should all have fun here. Like, we should all feel really good about what we're doing.
Yeah, I love that so much. And is the boats part, is it day trips or is it like people can stay on boats as well?
It's mostly day trips. We have like a part where people can do overnights, and we have a team that handles that. So they're not internal. They're like experts on that zone of genius of handling that, because that's a whole other boat.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
And how has the process been of like transition for you? Because I'm guessing you still had lots of clients with holidays booked for, I'm not sure how long out and stuff like that. How have you been managing the excitement of the new, but also still needing to close out your previous commitments?
Yeah, everything has moved incredibly fast, and happen in ways that I couldn't have when I had this idea. Like I didn't know how it was going to go. And so obviously we have tons of clients that we've loved for years. And this idea came about like mid-March. And so mid-May, we had a team member who like had been my right hand in the business for all those years. And so in mid-May, I was like, okay, I was thinking through like, we need to find a travel agent who we trust, who can handle their full trips, because I don't want them to be left alone. And she actually came to me and she said, hey, like I actually want to continue that part of the business. Like I love the full trip planning. I love like making, like really handling the full scope. And she was like, I think I want to start my own thing. And so she came to me like super nervous, like, how is this going to go over? And right on the spot, I was like, well, then do you just want to take that side of the business? Like, do you want to take over those clients? And then we have a partnership where you get to do the full trip planning, but you can book the boats through us. And like, we get to continue our partnership. And so it just worked out perfectly of like, I told her, I was like, I hope you're not feeling like I don't want to because I didn't ask you to come and to like beg you to come onto the new business. I see that you really want this. And so I'm never going to like try to put you in a position where you don't want to be. Like you clearly are very passionate about that side of it. So go for it. And so now she's handling that side of the business. So it wasn't even a thing. Like we're transitioning to people. Like she has tons of great reviews. She's worked with most of the clients. So
Yeah.
it worked out perfectly.
I mean, when things happen so seamlessly like this, I feel like you have to be trusting in something way bigger out there than what, you know what I mean, that we can see and sense and feel. Because that some of those things are like, seem almost magical, how well they've like played out. Have you had
Totally.
moments
Yeah.
though in this new venture where you've had like doubt creep in, or that like that doomsday sort of feeling that you had in December when you were going to Berlin?
Yes. Like doubt creep in 100%
Yeah.
because I put so much work into it
Mm.
and I have so many team members all of a sudden. So like something I'm doing now that I would have never done in the past is I'm acting before like the results are there. So in the past, like I'd do the Band-Aid method, right? But now I'm doing like, okay, we need to have sales reps on call. We need all this. And I'm really preparing for something that's not here yet. And so to be in that point of like, oh, sorry, good. To be in that point of I haven't seen the results yet, like we just launched and waiting, like being in that period of growing a business again and having to trust that like I know that it was the right move. Like everything came just so seamlessly with a lot of effort. Like it wasn't like, oh, here's the idea and we're going to go for it. Yeah, it's just been pretty amazing. Like even from the very start of me sending my husband that book, and he was like, "This is like so good and such a different book than I would never listen to like a male author." like, and then it was like, "Oh, this is actually like everything that I like need to hear." And if I listened to it a year ago, it wouldn't have been what I needed. But like in that moment, exactly, it was everything I needed to hear. And like we went all in. Like we went to a conference, like we met the author, like we really got to know like who we're learning from. And we're like, okay, like this is what we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah. Yep. Is your husband, he's like actively involved in the new venture too?
Yeah. So that's where I'm like, spending more time properly handing things off to him. So he gets to like be in that seat again, which he missed, but he was really just trying to do what he thinks is best for me. And just like when I say I'm going to do it, like he wouldn't challenge that until, coming into the new business and being real about where we're going.
Yeah, cool. So your actual like relationship is evolving at the same time as you're like scaling the business and trying new things.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so cool. Cause like you asked me, like, do you, like feel that doom and gloom or like if things aren't going to work out? And yeah, like I feel it creeps in. And like, if I tell him he is always steady on like, this is 100% working out. It was 100% the right move, where like, he is so positive. And like to see him hold that, to hold that space for me when I have to hold a lot in the other areas of the business is like really what is like my superpower of having that person there.
Yeah, well, I've got goosebumps you saying that, because your whole existence up until recently was holding other people and didn't even sound like you let other people hold you, but he's actually supporting you through this because you're sharing those doubts with him and he's like, no, we've got this. Like, that's like such growth for you and him and together. Like, how beautiful. What a gift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels really good.
Yeah, that's amazing. All right, before we move into rapid fire, ask every guest one question. So, transformation often happens in like small, consistent steps, like micro movements rather than like huge quantum leaps. And it's the little consistent steps that typically unlock long lasting change. So, based on your journey and any part of your journey, what's one step or action that people listening could take to unlock their limitless potential?
That's such a good question. I think the biggest thing is, it's like a small step, but getting clear on what you actually want. Like for me, just naming that, even though it felt so big, like I was limiting myself by just setting goals that were attainable.
Yeah.
When I like finally said what I actually want, which was absolutely unattainable with the lifestyle I'd created, that's when it changed. Like, no, I can't get there tomorrow, but here's all the things that are now going to have to change.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. That's incredible. And like, even I was talking to a mentor yesterday, and she was getting me to set goals through to next March, just because of the energy she was reading into me, that there's a big turning point in my birthday in March next year. And I was really challenged by that. And it was just, she was just holding up a mirror, because like I haven't wanted, like you, playing small. Like I've set goals that are attainable, or if I've either got them or just missed them, it's like, oh, close enough. Like that's cute. Do you know what I mean? Rather, like she was like, hey, this is the moment in your business where you have to commit and you have to hit these goals, and they have to be bigger than what you've been doing. And I was like, so a lot of what you've been saying today is resonating, because I'm like, oh, you're holding up a mirror of like what? Yeah. So I might get that book.
Yeah.
Because sounds like a good one. Okay. Let's do rapid fire. What's a desire of yours you've only recently let yourself fully own?
I think the desire to do something bigger than I've ever done, like to actually name it and say, okay, here's where I'm going.
Yeah. Yeah. Say it out loud and bring people along with you. It's huge.
Yeah.
Love it. What's one lesson the universe keeps throwing at you to learn and relearn and relearn?
Let other people help.
Yeah. And what do you think your superpower is?
That's a good question. What is my superpower? I think it's constantly testing reality of like what looks like is, and coming at it and saying, no, this is actually what I want it to be.
I love that. I love that. Oh, and I meant to ask you this earlier, so I'm going to ask you now. What is your human design?
I don't know. I've forgotten after all this time.
Okay, I'm going to look you up. I feel like you might be a manifesting generator, but I'm not.
I think I am a manifesting generator.
I feel like we were the same, like when we did it together, just because the way you're like juggling lots of ideas and all the excitement at the start and all that stuff. It's very like Manny-Gen energy. But yeah, I thought we were the same, because when we did the course together, we had that done. But I just wanted to double check. But anyway, okay. Yeah. When you hear the word limitless, the name of this show, what are like 3 words or phrases that come to mind?
Strength. This is hard. Okay, 3 limitless.
Feelings.
Strength
words.
For me, joy.
Yep.
And really like love.
Like, oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yep. And I feel like also you said a few times in our discussion, like freedom is a big one as well.
Yeah. Freedom. Yeah, definitely freedom. It's fun. Like I got caught up on that one because we use the word limitless a lot, like right now in how we're operating. It's like, it feels limitless, but that feeling is like just so like freeing of like, the sky's the limit, and not like putting up those boundaries.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. And the last question is, if you're having like a low vibe day or you're deep in self-doubt, what's one song that you can put on that lifts your mood and your vibration?
Oh, this sounds easy. Good Day by Frank Somebody. Is that or something Frank? Yeah. The kids love it. We play it like in the car in the morning, and it changes the whole, like everyone just gets in a whole different vibe.
Yeah, I love that song. That's such an upbeat song. You can't help but like shift when you hear that one. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Michaela, thank you so, so much for coming on. Your story is really incredible. And thank you for sharing it first here on Limitless. I think people listening will have endless takeaways. And good luck with this new venture.
Thank you so much for having me, Fiona.
Thank you for tuning in to Limitless. If you enjoyed today's episode and love hearing the stories of courageous cycle breakers, I'd be grateful if you could leave a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Your feedback not only helps others discover the show, but it also amplifies our mission to unlock emotional freedom and true potential. Every review makes a difference in helping more people embrace their limitless life.